is Katie Weaver. I am your host and I'm so happy to be here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. I'm not sure what I said, but apparently I didn't say it's the Katie Weaver show. Oh, I said 1, 2 news. Good Lord. All right, well, let's try again. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I am so happy to be here with you all. I hope that you guys are having a great day. You may be having a weird day. We'll talk about it. I want to let you know that we're over in the chat room. Just head over to 12radio.com, click on the chat button, and you'll be redirected into the Facebook chat. Easy enough. And I am also broadcasting this event from Facebook Live through our chat room. So if you'd like to head into the chat room, you can watch it if you'd rather than listen to it. I also will upload this to YouTube later today, and you can always watch it over at Domestic Mystic on YouTube. So lots of ways to connect. I am definitely going to have some time today for some readings out of the chat room. So if you guys have any need for a reading or a healing, or a deep dive into something, let's do it. Let's talk about it. I'm definitely up for some animal communication today, some past life work today, some DNA work today. What you got? Throw it at me. Let's do some really good work. It is pouring rain at my house. Pouring rain. And I love that energy. Now, I did have to go out in it already this morning, which I loved less. But, you know, such is life. Some of you guys that live in rainy areas, you know, you go out in the rain every day. We just don't. But anyway, I had to go to the high school to a presentation that one of my children was giving. And the parking over there was unbelievable. So, yeah, I've had my fair share of rain today. But it's all good. It is really, the rain to me is just straight up magic. So I'm really enjoying having, because we don't get rain, well, just magical rain like this. We don't get this very often. So anyway, when I wasn't at the school, I spent a great deal of my morning cuddling on the couch in blankies with chihuahuas and a little pig looking out the window. Now, I will tell you who is not impressed with the rain, and that's the pig. Our little mini pig Fiona that you guys have heard so much about. Yeah, she's not going out in the rain. I got her to come out on the step, being bribed with treats, and then I kind of nudged her off of the step down onto the lawn, and she squealed, and she jumped, and she ran right back into the house. So apparently that's not happening. Poor little Fee. She is definitely not a fan. The Chihuahuas, they know. You know, you just have to run outside, pee as fast as you can, and come right back in. And that's just how it goes. Anyway, so here's why, if you are feeling like you are in a vacuum today, if you're feeling like the energy around you feels like all of the air has been sucked out of the room, the moon is void, of course, today. Not for the whole day, but there's a period of time where the moon is void, of course. And for me, that's usually kind of a eerie feeling. And so it could be, if you're feeling a little strange today, that may be what you're experiencing. For me, a lot of times when the moon is void, of course, even if it's actually only for a few minutes, I'll feel it for quite a lot longer than that. You know, just super connected to the lunar activity. So, you know, it may be, if you're feeling kind of weird today, that's exactly what's happening with you. So just a heads up there that, yep, the moon is doing her thing today. So now, moon void, of course, certainly doesn't last forever. And she'll get back to, you know, being on target and on her path, and we'll all be fine. But that is, I don't know. You tell me. Do you guys feel weird when the moon is void, of course? The other experience I have, and you guys tell me how you do with this, but I thrive in the full moon. I love the full moon energy. For days around the full moon, I feel like I'm on top of the world. I feel like I can accomplish anything. And during the new moon, I'm usually a little flatter. Not always, but a lot of times I'm a little flatter. I'm a little more tired. I'm a little more worn out. And that's just a pretty normal pattern for me. However, I know other people are the opposite of that. And then, of course, others that don't really feel like the moon affects them all that much. So I'd be interested to know how you guys do. Okay, Lynn said, I love to hear that you have a little pig. Oh, Lynn, do we have a little pig? We have a mini pig that is 14 weeks old. Her name is Fiona. When we got her, she weighed 2 pounds, and she weighs about 10 pounds now, but she's just exactly the same height as my Chihuahuas now. So she's not very big. She's just, you know, is getting dense like pigs do. And oh baby, is she a handful. We are loving her, but I'll tell you guys, raising a mini pig is not for the faint of heart. I'd almost take a toddler, man. Toddlers don't bite quite as hard. But we're having a ball with her. She really is a lot of fun, but ay caramba. Okay, Greg, thank you. I can always count on you. He said the moon is void in Virgo right now until 11:52 p.m. Pacific time. So it really is all day. Whee. Okay. So who's taking a nap with me this afternoon? We're all in? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. We're going to be okay. Alrighty. Well, I want to let you guys know that because the moon is void, of course, we are on sale over at One to Listen today. I will be there all day. So if there's anything I can do to help you guys out, today's a great day to connect because we're on sale. So that's great news. Seeing lots of reading requests coming up in the chat room. That is awesome. So let's do some of our normal stuff. Let's take a little look over at the magazine. So I put a link in the chat room. You guys may know that I publish a magazine every Monday. It's a compilation of work from myself and several of my colleagues over at One to Listen. And you can enjoy it and cash in on some of the great articles in there. So I put a link in the chat room. You can also find it over at katie-weaver.com and check in with it right there. So let's take a quick look. There's always a note from me. So I've talked about this a little, but my oldest is actually graduating from high school this week. It's crazy. So we threw a party last Sunday for him. Our school always does graduation right before Memorial Weekend. And where we live, everybody goes camping for Memorial Weekend. Like most of our family and friends, I was raised camping on Memorial Weekend because it's opening fishing weekend. So for all the fishermen, that's their jam, right? So I hate the graduation falls that weekend because that's a tough time to have a family party. So I decided to do it a weekend beforehand. It was so nice. It was so nice that so many of our family and friends came out to support Micah and did so well with each other, and it was a beautiful day. It was just really heartwarming. Just nice to, sometimes I forget. We live in a town where we are very much a minority religiously, and sometimes I just feel like it's us against the world around here, and it's nice to remember that it really isn't, and it's a good perspective for me. So I named the magazine this week the Don't Stop Believin' edition, the Don't Stop Believin' edition, because there's so many opportunities this week to put some trust in yourself and to get some perspective. So it's good. This is a good week. A strange week, a good week. And then you'll see the 1-2 weather report. Now you probably, if you listen to 1-2 News, you know I write the 1-2 weather report for 1-2 News. However, I like to share it with you guys too. And then you can find it, if you want to just see a daily reading, you can find that over at Domestic Mystic on Instagram. I do a daily postcard. And on my fan page too on Facebook, which is Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic. All right, so Wednesday, there is we'll just start with Wednesday. Who needs Monday and Tuesday? They're done. All right, Wednesday, there is so much happening in your life, yet time is standing still. You are waiting for answers, events, and a movement that has not arrived yet. Distract yourself from your boredom by getting lost in a great book or immersing yourself in some other media. Wow, yeah, that's definitely today, huh? You know what I want to do? I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to binge watch Murphy Brown. because I don't know if you guys heard, but Murphy Brown is coming back. They're reprising Murphy Brown. So if you remember Murphy Brown, it was way back, it was 80s, early 90s. I think they ran for like 9 seasons, so it was a long time. And it was about Candice Bergen started it. She was a really hard-nosed news reporter, and this was their news show called FYI. Anyway, I loved Murphy Brown. I nearly became a journalist because of Murphy Brown. I wrote in junior high in the school paper. In high school, I was on the yearbook staff because I wanted to be a reporter like her. Went a different direction, but at any rate, so I just thought it was so much fun that Murphy Brown is coming back. And if you find the trailer, you will laugh so hard about them talking about why they decided the show needs to come back. They said it's because of an election and fake news and the press, and it's hysterical. Anyway, I'm so excited. So I thought, what would be funner over the summer than to watch all of the Murphy Browns? Well, guess what? They're almost impossible to find. So I don't know that I'm going to get to, but I'm still looking. You know, usually it seems like with the internet where there's a will, there's a way, but I don't know. I was hoping Netflix would have them or Amazon would have them. They don't. So we'll keep looking. Maybe they will now with the show coming back, but that's just a little side conversation. There's also a brand new Charmed coming back in the fall. Brand new Charmed, brand new girls, brand new situations. We'll see. I hope it's awesome. I loved the old Charmed, so I hope they don't disappoint me. They may, but who knows? We'll see. All right, Thursday. Your bubble will be big today, and you will likely not want anyone to touch you, or maybe even talk to you. You are feeling prickly and maybe even a bit grouchy. This is a good time to stay home if you can. Some energy work will help, as well as some meditation. I'm sure everybody can relate to feeling like that sometimes. Friday, there is truly no problem that does not have a solution. Today, you will be a master problem solver, as you will find obstacles popping up right and left. Remember that this is only temporary, and that you are stronger and smarter than any challenge thrown in your path. Saturday, this is a brilliant day of inspiration. You may have woken up with no plans, only to be struck with a flash of genius. Struck with the flash of genius. You are feeling passionate about a new plan or project. It is safe to be a bit impulsive today. And Sunday, be wise today about financial commitments and obligations. Choose where you put your money wisely. Be sure that you are setting something aside for the future. You will have various opportunities come up over the summer that will require a financial contribution that you don't want to miss. So that's the 1-2 weather report for the week. Okay, and then of course I have a reading special for May. It's my 15-minute TBS. I always like to give you guys as good of a deal as I can, and I love the 15-minute TBS because, well, it's actually always on sale, but it's even more on sale. It's on salier sale, the saliest sale of all. So I'm going to put a link in the chat room. But you can find that over at 12listen.com and in my profile too. And that's just a really great way to get a reading, you know, because then we both know how much time we have. We're not rushed. It's a perfect amount of time for a good reading, a healing, whatever you need. Okay. And then we have, Christy always brings to us the stone of the week. And the stone this week is apophyllite. Apophyllite is great for balancing the crown, creating an open channel for clear communication with guides, angels, goddesses, and spirits. If you're trying to work on mediumship skills or just deepen your intuition skills, apophyllite's a really good stone for you to have. And then, of course, she brings to us the card from her Kindred Spirits Energy Oracle deck every week as well. So the card this week is Iris. The primary message is messages from the other side, connection to loved ones who have crossed over, memories, ancestors, and crown chakra. The challenge is grief, holding a grudge, and fear. The crystal is, of course, apophyllite. And the meditation, Dear Iris, please bring me messages from my loved ones who have crossed over, my ancestors, and send my messages of love and remembrance. I love that. Very sweet. The last 2 weeks have had 2 days that triggered a lot of grief and longing and missing loved ones. And so I think this is a really good time to remember that you can connect with them. Some information that came through recently I thought was interesting in a reading. A client who was hoping to, we were asking her past loved one to come through in dreams more. And we were told, she said that she is coming through in dreams and spending a great deal of time with her actually in dream time, but she doesn't remember very much of it. And the client was frustrated and said, but I want to remember it. I need to have these experiences. I want to remember our time together. So the loved one who had passed said, well, you can't. If you remembered much of it, you would never want to come back. It would be too easy for you to not want to be here anymore. You have to have, you signed up to have an earthly experience, and at this point, you got to have it. So if you remembered too much of dream time or spent the time that you're spending with spirits and where you're going in your dreams, it would be really hard for you to want to be here. I just thought that was pretty interesting. I've heard that before in different kind of different explanations from different people that have crossed, but at any rate, I thought that was pretty interesting. Yeah. All right, I'm seeing some great comments here about Murphy Brown. I'm telling you guys, I don't know. I think it just comes back in the fall, so it's going to be awesome. And Corky Sherwood Forest, if you remember her. She's coming back. Miles Silverman, or Silverberg, the producer, he's coming back. It's going to be awesome. I don't know who else of the old cast is coming back, but we're going to talk about it a lot, I can tell. Alrighty. So I think that's all. Yep. Really great articles this week. I hope you guys have a chance to jump in and see some of them, read them. It's a good, with your morning coffee kind of read to go through and read the articles that sing to you. And so I hope you guys get an opportunity to do that. Alrighty, so that's it for the magazine. Oh, you can, by the way, if you'd like to just have it emailed to you every week, you can just go over to katie-weaver.com and you can subscribe there on the homepage, and then I'll just send it to you every Monday when it publishes. So that's kind of fun, I think. Alrighty, so I wanted to do a reading out of my deck this week for you guys. And so my deck, of course, is the Ground, Bless, Protect, and Move deck. This is the deck that I published with the Psychic Sisters back in January. And so we're going to do self-care cards from every category. So the ground card this week is the tree. So grounding with the tree, you can do that a couple of different ways. One is make like a tree, stand with your feet shoulder width apart. Take a few deep breaths, and then picture sending red tree roots out of the soles of your feet deep, deep down into the earth. And that's a really great way to ground, to just really send your energy into the earth. You can also ground with trees. Sit with your back against the trunk of a tree, or put your arms around a tree, and just allow your energy to slip down into the energy of the tree and mingle into the tree roots. Either way, very grounding. And it just feels like we need a little extra grounding. I mean, the earth is wild right now. So you may find yourself needing a little extra help to ground. And if you're feeling weird, if you're feeling not like yourself, if you're feeling shaky, if you're feeling off-centered, if you're feeling particularly grouchy, if you're feeling like you can't focus on anything, or you have some anxiety and depression that has popped up that is unlike you, or even if it is like you, that's just worse than normal, those are all signs that you're feeling ungrounded. So is feeling unsafe. I've talked to a few people lately that said they just in general are not feeling safe. And that has to do with the root chakra, because the root chakra is the center of safety and security. So all good reasons to invest a little extra time in grounding. All right, the Bless card. The Bless card is the Earth. I was so happy I pulled this because we got to bless the Earth. She is going through something. I don't know that it's a bad thing, but depending on where you live, it might not be a great thing right now. I mean, the Earth is rumbling and shaking and exploding and spewing and going through stuff. And I think ultimately, this is the energy that has clearly been building for quite some time that needs to be released. But of course, always sending lots of safety to our friends in Hawaii that are going through it right now, and in other places where the Earth has been shaking a lot. And so blessing the Earth. So, on the card, it of course is a picture of the Earth with hands wrapped around it, blessing the entire Earth. I love that visualization of just sitting in meditation, holding the Earth in your hands and blessing her, filling her up with love from the inside out, or blessing very specific parts. Perhaps you want to bless the earthquake activity or the volcanic activity. Perhaps you want to bless the water. Perhaps you want to bless the people. Maybe you want to do it all. You decide. But spend a little time this week applying some of your energy, your optimism, your love, your strength, and your faith to blessing the Earth. Okay. And then the Protect card is Burn Sage. And this is always a great reminder. Every once in a while, it's just time to smudge. You need to light up a little sage and smudge your house. Now, if you can't burn in your house, if you're allergic to it, or if you live in an apartment or a place where you really can't burn something, make a really strong tea out of sage leaves and put it in a little spray bottle and mist that around your space instead. If you can burn sage, then light up your sage and then you blow it out so it's just smoldering. And then you can use feathers or you can use your hand to just waft the smoke. I like to blow on it actually, but throughout your home, there's a lot of processes. I won't do a whole tutorial today, but you can learn a little bit more about it another time. But at any rate, just smudging your house is really powerful when you are feeling stuck, when your home might be feeling kind of mundane, might be feeling kind of heavy. I don't know. My house, I notice when my kids start fighting a lot that it's time to smudge. Or if I start feeling like I can't get anything done, like the house I feel trapped in here. I feel like I'm moving through molasses. That's when it's time to smudge for me. So the point of smudging is releasing old stuck energy that no longer belongs. Sage is considered to be a purification herb by Northern Native Americans. Incidentally, in South America, frequently basil is used in the same manner or a similar manner, usually actually in a tea, but you can burn basil too. I've done it. It smells horrid. But you can do it if you want to do it. At any rate. And maybe it's time to do a whole show on smudging again. I don't know. We haven't talked about it in a while, but that is the Protect card today, is to smudge. Okay. All right. And then the Move card this week is Meditate. Kind of fun because I believe tomorrow in the 1-2 weather report, we're being called to meditate. So here's the thing with meditation. A lot of people, I think, get turned off from it because they have this idea of what meditation is supposed to be that may or may not work for them. That idea of Zen meditation, where you sit and you think about nothing for a long time, that's something that people train for a long time to do. And if that's what you're trying to do, you may very well meet some frustration and disappointment. I don't think it's the most effective way for most people to meditate. I also believe that meditation should be a 10 to 15 minute experience, no more. If you want to apply more and you have more time, great. But don't stop yourself. Don't decide to not meditate because you don't have that much time. Because the thing is, you don't need that much time. 10 or 15 minutes, we can all give up 10 or 15 minutes somewhere in our schedule, I hope. So meditate. One great meditation for me, I like to find guided imagery meditations. Christy has a lot over on her website that she is generously giving away at christybrower.com. You can go to YouTube and find a lot of guided imagery meditation. Or you can just turn on some music. I like some classical New Age type music and just sit with myself. You know, just sit and breathe. If you focus on not thinking of anything, you're going to think of 100 things. So maybe don't go that route. I also like mantra meditation where you take, like with a mala, so you have a mantra that you're going to repeat over and over and over, and you track that by having your mala, your beads, and you say it with each bead. There's a lot of ways, and I recommend that you try a lot of ways so that you can figure out what works best for you, for the way your brain works, for the way your energy flows. Everybody's different, so you have to do that for yourself. Because just because it works for somebody else doesn't mean it's going to be the best route for you, right? All right. And then the boost card this week is Daydream, which I think is really fun because it really fits quite well into the meditate card. It wasn't planned that way, but the boost cards are just meant to give you a little extra something that you may need during the week. So the card says daydream or dream all day. You need a break to rest and rejuvenate. Your mind, body, and spirit need a jammy day. Wow. We are really being sent home this week, especially like today and tomorrow. The daydream card, I love the daydream card because basically what that means for me is to just let your thoughts go. Go lay on your bed for a while and put your phone away. Go stare out the window for a while or go sit in the front yard. Go do something electronic free that just gives you a chance to let your thoughts wander. Daydream for me actually is a really goes well in exercise. So a lot of times I will focus on daydreaming when I'm like in the pool. I like to swim and do Tai Chi in the pool, and I do a lot of daydreaming that way as well because I'm a kinesthetic learner, and a lot of you may be kinesthetic learners, which means that you learn better or your brain works better when your body's in motion. So you can experiment and play with that and see what is best for you. Okay. Alrighty, so let's do, rather than singing bowls today, I decided to do some drumming. We haven't drummed in a while. Now, I want to remind you guys here in the chat room that I am going to do readings today, so if there's something I can help you with, throw it up in the chat room, and I'll get to as many of you as I can. All right, so we're going to use this drum today. This is a deer hide. This came from a mountain man. My dad bought it for me at a mountain man rendezvous from Mohawk Indian. Really cool guy. He made it, and then it's got horsehair fringes on it. It's a neat drum. It's one of my favorites. One of the cool things about this drum is that it is a solid piece. So the rim is a solid piece that's been carved out. And I think that you get better sound with drums that are like that. They just flow better. They're kind of special that way. But before I lose this question, so Michelle says, so when you guys put up questions in chat sometimes, or in the live stream, sometimes I lose them because the live stream moves really fast and I can only see one or two things. So I'm going to go ahead and get to this one quickly. Michelle says, I'm going to the dentist today to find out if I have oral cancer. I'm freaking out a lot. Can you please ask the angels to be with me and pull a card for me about it? Thank you so much. Oh, Michelle, I'm sorry. That doesn't sound fun at all, does it? Yes, I will. And then we'll drum. How's that? Sometimes other things are just more important. All right. So I have several decks on my desk. I reached for the Gateway deck from Denise Lynn. I love these cards. All right. The card is the Rising Above card. I see only beauty and grace. That's the message. But look at you, rising above. That's a huge confirmation for you, Michelle, that everything's going to be okay. You see her? That's you coming up right out of that lotus. But let's also do a little blessing for you to help give you some peace and calm. I want you to, when you're sitting in the waiting room, I feel like you're going to have a little wait, and that's going to could trigger a lot of anxiety. So I would like to do some work for you so that when you sit in the waiting room, you can feel so wrapped up and supported in love that you have absolutely no reason to worry. Oh, Terry says, I love those Denise Lynn cards. I do too. They're a beautiful deck. I love Denise Lynn, honestly. She's pretty true blue. Okay. All right, Michelle. I'm wrapping you up in a thick blanket of pink light, calling forward Archangel Michael and Archangel Ariel, asking them both to stay close by today. You have a grandmother coming in too, one of your grandmothers, who said that she is very aware of the situation and ready to take the reins. Okay, well then let's let her. All right, so you have a lot of love around you. So I'm going to ask your grandma to help keep that anxious energy that I'm feeling in your chest at bay, and to just help sit with you, especially while you're waiting, because they're telling me that's going to be a tougher part. Make sure that you've got plenty to do in the waiting room, so that you're not sitting in the waiting room just pacing, climbing the walls. Bring a book, bring something to draw, something. At least have your phone charged up so you can play on it. Do something so that you're not sitting there being anxious. All right, Michelle. Our love is definitely with you. Alrighty, here we go. So we're going to get back to our drum. So I'm going to drum for you guys today with the intention of just allowing tension to dissolve in your body. So if you're feeling tense, I'm feeling so much tension in my jaw as I'm talking to you guys, and I was wondering if that's mine or if it's somebody else's. It doesn't matter, but maybe it is. So that's the intention I'm holding. So I'll drum for a few minutes here. Now with drumming, sometimes people feel like it creates a fight or flight. And so if it creates flight for you, before you flee, try to breathe. Try to just breathe through it and see if you can get to the other side of it. What's happening is the drumming, the vibration of the drumming is creating a shift in you. And sometimes that creates a panic moment of feeling like something's wrong, even though it's really not, but I get that. So, okay, I am going to go ahead and start. So again, holding the intention that we're just going to allow tension to be absorbed into the vibration of the singing bowl and dissolved from your body and your spirit. Deep breaths, right? Okay. Very good. Okay. All right. Deep breath. How does that feel? That released something in my jaw and in my low back that I wasn't expecting. Okay. You guys good to go? Okay. Good. Drumming is so powerful. It's such a powerful form of energy release and energy building. If you don't have a drum, that is something that I think should be on everybody's wish list. And to me, I mean, you can order drums online, of course. And a lot of people do, and that's totally fine. I also think it's really special if you can find someone locally who sells them and makes them. And, you know, drums don't come cheap. They're definitely a little investment. But wow, they're a powerful thing to have when you feel like you need to move some energy. Okay. Well, guys, let's jump into the chat room. Lynn said, wow, my spirit dropped right into my body, feeling grounded. Yeah, awesome. Good, Lynn. That's perfect. That was the goal. Okay. All right, I'm going to jump back up. I'm going to climb up a little higher here. Okay. Yeah, Sheila said she felt it in her heart. Good. Because again, we were intending to release tension. So think about where you were holding tension, both in your spirit and in your body. Okay. Oh, I'm missing a couple of things from the chat I wanted to see. Let's see. Okay. Oriana said, I've had this woman from my past come up in my thoughts for some reason. I don't know why. Could I get a message, please? Yeah, Oriana, there's something going on in her life that actually I feel like she's thinking about you. Interestingly, I feel like she's feeling some regret about you, about perhaps the way she treated you or something about her connection with you. I feel like she's kind of experiencing something right now that's reminding her of that situation. So I feel like that's why she's coming up. If you want to reach out to her, fine. If you don't, there's absolutely no obligation here to do so. You're right. I think that what I'm hearing from you is that sometimes it's kind of a bump from your angels or from the universe that you need to reach out to somebody. And I don't think that that's the case in this instance. I think that you're totally safe to not. She's just feeling you. All right. Terry says, would love a card reading. My dad passed away 3 years ago and he loved Father's Day so much. Extra missing him. Oh, you know what, Terry? He loved Father's Day so much because he loved being a dad so much. I love in him that his identity was being a dad. And that's not always the case. In men, our society has really set men up in a way that frequently men's identity is much more wrapped up in who they are and what they do for a living. But your dad's identity was his job, or was his being a parent. And I love it. So he loved Father's Day because he just loved being a dad. He also definitely loved the attention and loved being swooned over a little bit. So that's really, really sweet. I'm going to pull you a card, but I just want you to know, honey, that he says he's also missing you, though it's a different kind of miss because he's standing right by you. Is there something? He keeps showing me stepping on your toes. Not like in a, I don't want to step on their toes, as if you don't want to cause a problem. It's like he's teasing you and stepping on your toes. He is funny. He's a cutie. Okay. All right. I wasn't really going to pull cards today, but I guess we are a little bit. Oh, now this is interesting, Terry, considering what we're talking about here, right? Awakening Ancient Wisdom is the card. And the message is deep inner knowledge is emerging within me. Obviously, you are really feeling your dad strongly right now. He comes up on Father's Day. You do some things for him, tell his stories, talk about him, and please talk to him because he can hear you. And he said he is mostly lonely for his conversations with you. Okay? All righty. She said, that's my dad, LOL. Yeah, stomping on toes. That is awesome. Okay. Oh, Oriana said, yeah, she treated me pretty badly. Yeah. Well, guess what? She's kind of getting, a little of her own comeuppance right now in a different experience in her life, and she's actually having a little perspective about the way she treated you. All right, Lynn says, I would love to hear if you can reach out to my daughter's energy and see how she can obtain a career. Okay, let's feel into her, Lynn. I mean, first of all, there's a confidence issue with her. And I know it's really frustrating for you because I feel like you have taken the steps as her mom to help her, to obtain the confidence that she needs. But there is definitely a confidence issue for her. So I think, okay. But what they're actually showing me is, okay, so obviously you continuing to talk her up, and help boost her self-esteem really helps. But I'm seeing her sitting down with somebody. This looks to me like some kind of a career or a job specialist. Do you guys have like a work, I'm sure your state has some kind of a workers program, right? I mean, usually it's the same place where you go to get unemployment. They usually have people like employment specialists. Thank you. That's the word I'm searching for. Employment specialists. I see her sitting down with somebody that really helps her to get clear on her resume and helps her get clear on what she's looking for and helps her find that job. So I'm thinking she needs some kind of an employment specialist that helps her to do that. And especially on selling herself, because she needs a resume that sells her, and I feel like she's just having a hard time with that part. Okay. Amy said, would love a message, updates with my home that's on the market or anything, selling my rental. Yeah, Amy, let's see. Could you? Maybe I can. Let's see. They were showing me putting I actually had a great vision of you digging a hole and burying a crystal in the front yard. But I don't know. Do you have a front yard that you can dig in? Can you put a crystal there? If you do, it's going to be something bright yellow. So it could be yellow calcite, it could be a citrine, but I'm seeing you blessing this with the intention of attracting people to this space and burying it in the front yard where, or close to the facade where people would drive past. You might even just drop one, on the street, but, or right in the front flower bed or somewhere close. But anyway, that's what I'm seeing, is just bringing something up to help attract people. They're telling me that the only thing that's holding you back right now is just the timing of finding the right person. Okay, horse communication. Oh, Jan, you know me too well. You know how much I love that. Okay. She said, my girl Babe continues to come up lame on her front. She's also a great actress. Could you see if she's really hurting and if I need to pull back on long rides? Oh, let's check it out. She is really hurting, actually. It's kind of a double-edged sword, right? Because you're right about that. She is a great actress and she's certainly put on a show for you. However, that's where she got the idea there. She is having some pain there. It feels kind of raw. Like, have you ever had shin splints? And it's like with every step, it feels like something is rubbing where it shouldn't be. That's how it feels to me. So I would say, Jan, yeah, there's actually something going on here. If I were you, I know you have the skills to do this. I would be doing some energy work on those legs every day for a little while. And also be talking to her about the fact that we're going to help this heal so that she can get back to getting out. Definitely she's kind of sucking up this extra attention, but that tells you something too. She's loving the attention. Maybe she needs it. So that's okay. All right. Sandy says, I would like you to pick up anything about that kind of cute guy I have noticed at work since the day before. Let's take a look. Sandy, are you sure he's not in a relationship? I think that you should, before you allow your feelings to go any further, investigate that, because I feel another person standing in your way. I would definitely, I would do that homework. I think he's engaged, or not engaged, involved with someone. Definitely worth knowing, right? Okay. All right. Laura says, would welcome grounding energy with graduation this weekend and family stuff, etc. And if you want to let Micah know, she can behave herself around it all. As best as a 9-month-old puppy can. I actually feel like she's going to be really good. Better than you think she's going to be. I feel like she's going to show up on her best behavior. And your guests are going to be like, she is so well behaved. And you'll be going, oh, dude, you have no idea. But I'll tell her. But I'm going to ground you. That's too funny. All right. Good grounding for you, Laura. It's going to be okay. I feel like you're worried a little bit about mixing people, that you're worried about some tension between. I don't see it. I feel like actually people are going to do quite well together, and it's going to be a good experience for your daughter. And that's good. That's what she needs for sure. She sure deserves that after, my God, she's graduating from veterinary school. What a huge accomplishment. And I know that you have supported her through thick and thin through this, so you have been amazing for her. Okay. So I have to tell you why that makes me laugh about Laura's puppy and feeling like she's going to cooperate beautifully and do exactly what she's supposed to. The reason that made me laugh so hard is because we had that experience this week with our pig. We had some friends that wanted to come and see her. A friend of mine, a dear friend of hers, has always wanted a mini pig. So for her birthday, she wanted to surprise her with a visit to our house to get to play with Fiona, because she's always wanted a mini pig, but she's never actually met a mini pig. And Fiona was so good, like way good, better than she normally is. And this lady walks in, and Fiona was asleep in the chair, and I pulled her blankies back a little bit so that she could see her. And she got right down on her knees and was petting her and loving on her. And Fee didn't complain. She didn't bitch at her. She didn't try to bite. She just was really nice about it, which I was grateful for, but she's not always like that. And then we went outside with her to play, and we all sat in the grass, and she just ran circles around us and played with us and was engaging. And I mean, normally she's constantly trying to, get into the neighbor's yard or go back in the house or run in the garage. And, she's a baby. She's taking tons of training and a million treats to get her to do what you want. No, she was perfect. Scott and I really laughed when this lady left about how, wow, Fee was on her best behavior. Scott said to her, what are you trying to do? Sell mini pigs? I think she was. And I think she did, because our new friend left really thinking that she wants to bring a mini into her life, but just made me laugh. Tammy says, can you check on my cat Susie? She's still struggling with health issues, and I'm not sure what is wrong now. Tammy, I'd go to the vet. I'm really wondering if she doesn't have a kidney infection. My back hurts when I feel her right in that place. She sure is struggling. And she just feels frail to me too. She's lucky she's got you to keep a good eye on her. Okay, Maureen needs a body scan clearing on upper left back. Okay. Okay, let's take that. Yep. How does this attachment keep coming back? I think, Maureen, we've attacked it so many times and it keeps coming back. I'm really wondering if this could be a past life thing that keeps coming back up for you that we need to clear. Here's what I'm recommending. At some point, I would really like to do a deeper clearing with you, deeper than on the radio, and do a past life clearing on it, do a DNA clearing on it, like hit it from absolutely every angle. So if that resonates with you at some point, I would love like a 15-minute session with you to really blast this sucker out of the water. It just keeps coming back, and that's not normal. I mean, normally we pull something like this and it stays gone, but for some reason, something is triggered here that we're not getting to the root of. Ugh, rude. All right, Catherine says, would love a reading, just curious if any forward movement imminent in my life. Catherine, you need it. Catherine, are you writing anything? If you have not started writing your memoir or your family's memoir, I would really recommend that you do. That's one of the things they're showing me, is that you need to start writing some things. Like almost, I mean, I guess you can call it a family history. It doesn't read exactly like a family history to me, but that's one of the challenges that they're throwing out for you, is to start doing a little writing, some big writing, really thinking about writing a lot of things down for your future, for your posterity someday. It's pretty cool, actually, but I see you sitting and writing and really thinking and talking to family members and getting their feedback and things. Oh, so I pulled you a card just for fun to see what would come up, and the card is making a difference. My inner light shines far and wide. I think that has to do with you and your little memoiring. I also think that doing some writing will help break some of that mundane energy loose for you to bring some movement forward in your life. I think you're high time for it. I feel like you are feeling a little bored, feeling a little lonely, just need some new people and some new experiences. So on that note, I would also recommend that you look for more type meetups, whether it's a church thing or a, not necessarily a religious thing, but a spiritual thing, but looking for some meetups this summer, some ways to spend your time with like-minded people. I think it would be really, really useful for you. Well, guys, it's happened. We've talked down to the end of the show. My God, I think we could go for another hour, but here we are. So I want to let you know that you can find me again tomorrow with the Psychic Sisters at 11 a.m. Pacific here on 12 Radio. You can find me over at 12 Listen for the rest of the day and evening. And again, we're on sale today for the Moon Void of Course sale. Is that a celebration? Today it is. I want to ask you to stay tuned. There's lots more great radio to come here in 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.